This podcast was recorded live in the Purple Room Studio.
Okay. Too dejected now?
Too dejected. I'm too dejected.
Ow.
I'm so sad. So sad.
He's sad, everybody.
I am sad, and so I'll say hello, everyone. Welcome to the StreamVoid podcast, episode 114.
I was yawning.
Yes. That is true. You were yawning, and that's okay.
Yep.
You are totally allowed to yawn.
Good, because I'm going to do it again.
Good. Yeah, you better drink that monster. I am MikeyT, and of course across from me is KurbStomped.
Hello.
He is drinking a Monster energy drink to get that juice in him, to get juiced up for this podcast. It is Sunday.
January 29th.
Yes, the 29th of January, I was going to say.
Sorry, my apologies.
2023.
Yes.
And you are listening to the StreamVoid podcast. This is a show about life and video games and everything in between.
Oh, it is.
It is.
Yes.
And as I said before, I'm MikeyT. KurbStomped across me. You can find us everywhere under our respective monikers.
Yes.
Because I didn't say that first.
I don't know.
I don't know what happened. I said something about energy drinks.
Yes.
And that's okay, because we drink energy drinks every day.
Yes.
Literally every day. Yes. Sponsorship, please.
Yes. I agree.
Yes. How was your week?
I almost forgot. Yeah, just when you were saying life and everything in between, I was like, oh yeah, right.
You had some in between moments?
No, I didn't really, but I almost forgot about this, and that reminded me. So work was whatever, I was at the warehouse dealing with, like, we have salvage, so it was like dirty ass disgusting shit. Like, there'd be like, we bought a skid of like refused product, and it'll be like, oh, there's like beef broth on it, but like the box of them was pierced by the forklift fork. So like 6 of them are all like broken open and moldy and rotten and shit. So
and the other 12 are just covered in
broken so then you have to like those ones that are all destroyed, you have to like open up and like barf and throw away the rotten ones and then see if the other one. Anyways, it's disgusting, but whatever.
Yes.
So I did that, and then I was at the store doing my other stuff, whatever. But then on Friday, this was so weird. Very weird interaction. So the woman in the office was just like, she came back in. This is right first thing in the morning, and she says to me, like, I like to think we're friends around here. I was like, well, I mean, maybe, I wouldn't be, I'm not her friend or anything like that, but like, I don't like the way she does stuff in the office or whatever, but it's not like, I'm wishing ill will upon her or anything, So I'm just like, that's so weird. Like, she says this and I'm like, okay. She's like, and like, what did she say? She's like, yeah, I like to think we're friends, and sometimes, some things come up and, I start to think about things, and this thing came up and I was thinking about you, and I'm just like, okay. So I'm like, what is she talking about here? Like, I'm thinking like, what's she going to say next? Like, oh, I have this friend that I think you'd like I'd like to introduce you to this, one of my friends or whatever. And then I was like, do I want to meet some woman that she's friends with? Like, would that be, first of all, not weird, but also if she's friends with her, would I be just like, why? But, whatever. And she's sort of rambling for a bit, beating around the bush, and I'm just like, all right, okay. And she's like, but there's this opportunity that came up, and like every time I think about it, I just think the first thing that pops in my head is your name. And I'm just like, what is she talking about here? And she's like, so if you're interested at all, like, we could talk about it. Maybe we'll like go for a walk and we can talk about it, or, you know, but every time I keep thinking of your name and I'm just like, okay. And she's like, you know, this is just between me and you. Like, I don't want it to get, you know, this is just like us talking here or whatever. And I'm like, okay, all right. So she's like, so I'll just leave that with you and then you can, you know, let me know. Right. So I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about? So then I was like, is she like have some sort of like someone's looking for a job or someone like that she thinks I'd be good for or something like that? So then I was just like, okay, like that's weird that, you know, that this would be going on. And so I don't know. Anyways, we have the chat here. One of them is saying MLM. And I was like, I never thought of MLM. I mean, she would be the type that would probably get in an MLM. I mean, that could definitely be possible, whatever. I never thought of that. So I just was like, I was puzzling over all day. Like, was there someone that was like looking for someone as like, they're like looking to get someone to do a job, and she was like, oh, you know, you'd be good in it or whatever. And then I was like, okay, is this legitimate? Like, she's like, oh yeah, that would be a good fit. Or like, oh yeah, I could get him out of the office. So anyways, I just was like, okay, that's weird. But then she's like, you know, she's talking like she doesn't want to talk about it in the office, and like there's nobody else in the office. So like, it's not like anyone would have overheard or anything like that. So I just was like, I'm not going to go for a walk with you and talk about something or whatever. And then at the end of the day, she's leaving. It's like 4:00 and I stay till like 4:30. And she's like, okay, I'll see you later. You know, have a good weekend. I'm like, all right, you too, have a good weekend. She's like, and you know what? If you know what? You can give me a call if you want to. We can talk about it on the phone. I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever. So I was very weirded out by it anyways. I mean, yeah, I guess it could be an MLN.
You don't even know yet?
No, I don't know. So that's what I was going to say. Like, do I even follow up on this, or do I just like, I think what I personally think is I'll be like, okay, if I go there on Monday and there's there's nobody in the office, I'll be like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about. If you want to talk about it right now in the office here, we'll do it. But other than that, like, I'm not going for a walk with you to talk about whatever. If you don't want to talk about it here, then that's the end of it. But it was very weird anyways. So.
Yeah, no kidding. That's very weird.
Yeah, so it could be. I don't think it would be an ML. I don't know, maybe. It could be, but I don't know. Like, anyways, it was just a very weird thing.
Yeah, that's super weird.
And then it was just like, okay, my thing was like, there's someone that was like, you know, oh, I'm looking for someone for a job. Do you know anybody? And then it would be like, you know, maybe it's like she thinks it's a win-win. Like, I would do it, but I also would be gone from her hair, basically.
if she even thinks of you like that.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, face. I mean, obviously before she could tell, like, I was pissed off about what was going on because she did bring it up and we talked about it because there was that. I don't know if you remember where.
Yeah, I remember
the miscommunication about like the other guy that says I want to take her job or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but since then it's been, you know, more or less fine. Like, there's been nothing. I mean, I've been working so much at the warehouse, so I can't do this other bullshit that she would always be like trying to pawn off on me. So It didn't matter. So who knows? Maybe she is thinking it's like a good fit for me or whatever. So anyways, I think I'll just tell her on Monday if I'm in the office alone with her, like, if you want to talk about it now, we can do it. Like, I think I don't know. Sometimes I get the feeling she's very serious. Like, oh, that's not a job. Like, we're on the job. Like, we shouldn't talk about this where we're on the job or whatever.
Yeah.
But then it'll be like her and the other girls are like talking in the other room for like an hour about like, oh, this, I don't know what the fuck, makeup or some, they'll be talking about, like, they talk like they're teenage girls sometimes and they're like 50 fucking years old. But like, oh, I like this foundation and oh yeah, this would go great with your eyes and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting there working like, oh my God, like, how did I get in this fucking office here? So yeah, I don't know what the deal is anyways. It was very weird anyways.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was like, yeah, I was hoping for some advice on what you thought about.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like, people when they're just like being so secretive about it, it's like, what even is it? Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, there's nobody in the office. Tell me now.
I know.
Because I'm not going to call you.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to.
I don't even care that much. If you don't care enough to tell me right here, then I don't care enough to call you about it later.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. I'll be like, just tell me now and whatever. If it's if you can't tell me now, then it's whatever.
Not even worth it.
Not even worth it.
Yeah,
really.
it must be totally illegal.
No, I don't think it's illegal, but I don't know. I've never heard her even mention anything about MLM before, so I don't really think that would be.
No, people who are into MLMs, that's all they talk about is their MLM.
Yeah, basically. And I don't know. I don't think she would take me as the type to be like, oh yeah, you want to fucking sell like Watsons with me or Watkins or whatever. It's like, no, like what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I think it's probably like she knows someone is hiring and she thinks either I would be a good fit or she could get rid of me. But even then, if it's something she'd be recommending me for, like, I don't think she would do it just to be like, oh, he's a terrible fit, but then he's out of here or whatever. Because then it sort of like screws over that relationship she has. Not that I know that she has any relationships because whatever.
There's only one MLM you should ever go into.
And that is?
Tupperware.
Tupperware?
Because it's like the longest lasting.
Yeah. Is it
most
still
successful?
Though?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my cousin does it.
Oh, I thought you meant the product, not the company.
Oh, the products last, yeah.
What about Avon?
Is Avon still around? I haven't heard anybody selling Avon.
Skin's so soft. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, I have had a couple of Avon catalogs show up in my mailbox over the last couple of years. So that's right, yeah.
The other thing, too, during this week, there was so we have a new like tech company at work, and they've been working on the server and like fixing stuff. Like the other like tech company, they wouldn't do stuff that we wanted. Like we'd get a new printer, but they just leave the other printer on the printer list. So you'd accidentally click on it, and there's probably like 1,000 sheets that are trying to print at this printer that doesn't exist anymore. So the guy came in to do that, and he is like a computer guy.
Yeah.
So the office fucking was stinking up, basically. It was like an anime convention in there. I just was like, I have to leave the door open. I'm sorry. Like, he's stinking it up in here. And it became apparent again, like, she doesn't know anything. Like, we have at our warehouse, when we pick an order, it automatically creates a packing list.
Yeah.
With a built-in PDF program that for whatever reason they installed this cute PDF reader. So whenever it makes a PDF, it puts a second page saying like, hey, you should register this cute PDF. And like when the email comes through the store, that's what it is. 2 pages. The first page is the packing slip, and the second page is like this advertisement to register, right?
This is an unregistered
Which is
program.
Like, why didn't we just use the Microsoft PDF program? It's built into Windows now.
Yeah, literally there.
So he's telling her, he's like, oh, I see that when this, it makes this PDF at the warehouse, it uses the cute PDF reader and it puts the second page on it. So I want to go and switch it back to Microsoft so you don't have this on your things, right? And she's like, oh yeah, I've had the stores complaining that they always get 2 pages on the PDFs, right? And he's like, yeah, I want to change that so it uses the Microsoft one. She's like, oh, you'll have to go to all the stores and do that then. And he's kind of like, well, what do you mean? She's like, well, when they print it off here, it prints off 2 pages, and when they do it in Vernon, it prints off 2 pages. And then when they do it in the other stores, it all prints off 2 pages. And he's like, well, that's because it's on the PDF. Like it's... And she's like,
side.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, I know. Like it prints 2 pages here, so you'll have to fix it here and there and everywhere. And he's just like, oh, well, no, that's because that's when it's made. And she's like, yeah, I get it. And then it prints, and he's like, okay, well, I could tell he's just like, holy fuck. So he's just like, okay, yeah, we'll fix it so it only does the 1 page everywhere. And I just was like, I'm sitting there like, do I just butt in and be like, it's not the printing, it's the creating. That's the problem. But I just sat there continuing doing my work and typing just like, oh my God, why is she in charge of the computers?
I would have just been full on head and hands.
Well, the other thing too
rubbing
is
my forehead.
Her computer's dying, right?
Yeah.
So her thing is she always says like, oh, I'll just use it till it dies, whatever. Pretending to be really frugal, but then we got a brand new printer that costs like 10 grand. But anyways, so her computer's dying. You can hear we're using Windows 10. We're using like a 3600 RPM hard drive in it or whatever. So it's super slow. So he's like, oh, I hear your computer's dying. And she's like, yeah. She's like, well, we could get you a cheap new computer. And she's like, no, I'll just use it till it'll die. He's like, well, I could put a new solid state drive in there. And then it'll be faster, and it's, you know, a couple $100. And she's, oh, well, we have a solid state drive here. You could do that. And I'm just thinking like, oh my God, she's going to go grab an external USB drive for this guy that we have kicking around. So she's like, yeah, I think there's one up in the old server room. Let me go get it. So I'm like, whatever, I'll let her do it. And then I left the office. She had gone to one of the other women, and we had these other external hard drives that she couldn't find that we used to back up the server, because it was, anyway, whatever. They used to be in the safe. So she's like, oh, can you go in the safe and see if there's any of these in there? Because he wants to use a hard drive. And I just sort of looked at him. I'm like, yeah, none of those are going to be what he wants. She's like, oh, what do you mean? I'm like, well, these are all external. He's not talking external. She's like, oh, well, I'll just show him anyways. I'm like, all right, whatever. So then she comes in with an armload of like 15 external hard drives. And he's like, no, none of those. She's like, oh, okay. So it's just like, wow, she's the one that makes all the decisions. This is great. This is cool.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. Anyways, whatever.
Your tech at your company is in good hands.
No, dude. Well, that's like, so I keep, like, every time we say something, like, so my computer died at work, right?
Yeah.
And it was like this old refurbished Dell, the ancient fucking Dell.
Yes.
So it died, and I had to take another computer to use to do my work. So I had told her, like, hey, my computer's dead. I literally like looked it up to see if I could figure out what the problem was, because I knew if I just told her, she'd be like, oh, maybe we can get it fixed. So I figured it out. It was like, whatever, totally fucked.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I took this other computer, but that's only temporary. I'm going to need something to work with, right? And she's like, oh, well, you know, we'll contact the computer company, get them to send a new computer, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, she was already, this was when we had all the computer shit downstairs. Like, 2 years ago. And I was like, I know she was down there looking at it. I'm like, there's like 10 business computers downstairs.
Yeah, there was a
lot that you looked at. So I was just like, why don't we just take one of the ones we already have? And she's like, well, those are all gaming computers. And I'm like, no, there's like 10 business computers down there. What? Really? And I'm like, oh my God, you had to look all this shit up online to find a price. Like, anyways, it's just frustrating.
Yes.
So anyways, that was my week. Just like nothing like, oh my God, I wanted to just explode the world, but just sort of like weird and frustrating, but not like in a major way, just like minor frustration, you know?
Yeah.
So that's my work week anyways.
Very good.
What about you?
Oh, boring.
Oh yeah.
It's very slow
at
work right now. And I can't, and anything else that happened to work, can't really talk about.
Oh.
I'm still making PowerPoints to train people on how to use Jira, of course.
Oh God.
That's all I'm essentially doing at work, is
Jira
answering questions from the field and working on the Jira and making it good. Had to lay off another couple of people.
Oh, sad.
Yes. Yeah. Super slow right now, but we're hoping things will come together.
Well, I mean, once everyone starts, I mean, I guess you guys are kind of like a little bit, you know, ruled by like new construction and stuff like that, eh?
No, we're what's known as brownfield.
Ew, gross. What does that mean?
Greenfield is new construction.
Oh.
Brownfield is existing infrastructure. We mostly work in brownfield.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So no one's upgrading right now?
The entire place is upgrading because they're tearing out all the copper eventually.
So why is it slow for you then?
Because it's 2023 and there's recession coming.
Oh, yeah.
There's a strike for the main guys coming. There's a huge shuffle that happened with the upper management on them. And, well, they're thinking and we're already through the recession. Like that's it. There's not going to be one, but, who knows, with interest rates going up now, we don't know.
Yeah. Interest rates are crazy.
Interest rates are going up.
Man, I'm so happy that I got a fixed rate on my mortgage, man.
I know.
Dude, if it was variable, holy fuck.
So the house across the street is now for sale.
Okay.
It is a 2-bedroom.
You buying it?
1 bathroom, 1,200 square foot house.
Okay. 1,200?
1,200.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit less than that.
Okay.
$445,000.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it.
$445,000. This house is tiny. It's got a yard, a little bit of a yard, but no front yard, very little front yard, it's got a medium-sized backyard. Medium-sized, I guess it's not as big as mine.
Sounds like my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds, it's probably akin to your house.
Yeah.
They want $445,000.
I love to hear it.
It's been on the market for a couple weeks now. They've had multiple people going in and out of there. That still have multiple people going in and out of there. No one's really bought it yet.
Yeah. It's crazy how much the property's gone up.
I know. There was a house just down the way. They wanted just under 400 for a much bigger house. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, maybe I should just buy this house. And then I'm looking at the cost of what it would be, even if I put down 100,000 on it, and then it's still going to be like, the mortgage is still super expensive.
Well,
like
especially now,
$2,200 a month for the mortgage. I'm like, oh my God. And that's me putting down 100,000 on it.
I know, it's crazy. Yeah, I got in at the right time when I got my place.
You definitely did.
Like the recent property tax, the property value notification came in the mail, and the land is worth more than I paid for just the whole thing, house and land.
Yeah, things are going up. It's getting ridiculous, and I mean, I understand why the millennial generation is like, all the memes are like, oh, we'll never buy a house. I'm like, you're probably right.
They need to ban foreign buyers and all that stuff like that.
Yeah, they're implementing more banning of foreign buyers and more foreign buyer tax that is happening.
Yeah, but even then,
it's getting
like,
ridiculous around here.
I mean, adding a tax on foreign buyers isn't really that big of a deal.
No,
not to them, anyways.
No.
So, yeah, it sucks.
Especially in the Chinese market, the only thing you can invest in is real estate.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I've heard anyway, and I've watched, multiple YouTube videos, quote unquote, on that where they just expand and buy real estate. And
if a lot of young people, if they just, I mean, it's kind of like a whatever shithole thing to say, but like, there's a lot of like, now it's more about saving up to get a place. It's not like I just was like, I'm going to buy a house and that was the end of it. It was like, this was a plan that came about after.
But you got to save up a lot more now.
You do for sure. Oh, you totally do. That's definitely true. But
or you're just paying out the nose.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a way larger down payment than I did. But I mean, I don't want to be like the boomer type people that say like, oh, when I worked at Zellers and I had enough money to send my kids to college and I bought a house and I could go on 2 vacations a year. And it's like, yeah, but a house costs $17,000.
Yeah, exactly.
When you bought it. So it's a little different.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, 100%. Even with my income and the savings that I have, I look at houses and I'm like, I can't afford that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I can't even do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing though too, a lot of people now, I mean, we're getting into house talk now, like what the fuck, but it's like, oh, I want the house with the 4-bedroom, 2-bath, big backyard, garage, all that shit. It's like, well, no, you start with like...
You start with something small.
You start with a townhouse, and then like, after 5 years, then you move into like the starter home, and then 5 years later, then you trade up to the like next home, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of gotta, I don't know, temper the expectations, I guess, a bit.
I suppose. I mean, I've been in this place for 3 or 4 years now, and this is a full house, and I have a huge backyard, a shop. I have a room that's just a podcast studio.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm downgrading to something smaller just wouldn't be possible.
I would have to. You're a little different though, because like
I would have to buy something and rent it out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a little different but I mean, like when you're first moving out and you first got your job and everything like that, it's like, okay, you don't move into the 4-bedroom house immediately.
You move into
the dungeon. Suite. Yeah, exactly. Your 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes.
A lot of vlogging. I got lucky with my house.
Yes.
So like, I'm not saying it was like skill or anything like that.
Pure luck.
There was luck, but some good timing. So
yeah. A lot of vlogging. Did a lot of vlogging this week. Got a lot of packages come in. Did a lot of unboxing. Apparently I do like unboxing.
What did you buy?
Now. I bought a rooftop tent.
Oh, for the Jeep?
For the Jeep. I finally, there's a vacation coming up. Briscoe, one of the is he a Patreon?
He better be, otherwise some throw hands.
But anyway, he's a fellow local friend.
Yep.
For a long time.
Yep.
Good friend. We were talking about vacation.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, let's just plan a vacation to the island. with all the high school friends, because he is quote unquote a high school friend, but not really, because we didn't go to the same high school. But met around that time, just after high school. And so we decided we're just going to go. Whoever's coming.
Yeah.
Screw making plans with everybody else. We're just going to go, and whoever wants to come
you have
can
to
come.
do it that way. Otherwise, they'll be like, I can't go that weekend. Oh, I got this. Oh, I'm actually not going to come. Oh.
So we did that, and Briscoe was talking about renting an RV. So I was like, hey, man, I'll get in on that RV with you, unless you're bringing the fam. And he's like, I'm bringing the fam. So I was like, okay.
Yes, that'd be full house.
Yes. So I was like, okay, we're going to need to find some kind of...
Unless you're bringing the fam. Would you think he's going to leave his wife and kids at home?
Well, the kids, yeah. His kids are old enough that they can...
Yeah, they're not that old, though.
Well, they are.
No. They are. It's still like they're coming on the vacation.
They are.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, then I need to...
do something.
Get a tent or rent an RV or something like that. Yeah. So I was like, oh, well, I've been talking about decking the Jeep out with a rooftop tent and a rack and all that kind of stuff. So I just did it.
Oh, very good.
I saved... The rack that I wanted locally was $1,500, and I was like, "What?
Yep.
How is this $1,500? That's ridiculous." It's
OEM,
I guess. And I found the same rack on Amazon, maybe a knockoff, but it looks the exact
guaranteed.
same. And reviews were all really high. It was only $800, so I was like, "Pull the trigger, get that." And rooftop tent. I was looking at rooftop tents. I'm like, oh man, these things are so freaking expensive.
Oh yeah.
They're so expensive.
Yep.
And you're like paying 10 times what you would for like just a regular ground tent.
Oh yeah.
Cause it's, sturdy, easy up.
Well, the thing is like
inside.
Anyone can buy a ground tent.
Yeah.
Only certain people can buy the rooftop tent. So they got to sell them at a lot more money to break even.
That's true. You can go all the way up to like 10 grand almost on a rooftop tent. So I found one on Amazon.
10 grand.
No. I think I paid $12.99 for it.
Oh yeah.
But it was very highly reviewed.
Is it specifically for the top of a Jeep?
Not specifically.
No, okay.
But yeah, I unpacked it. Opened it up over in the VR area.
Wait, did you set it up inside?
Yeah, you just unfold it. It's open.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, because I was looking at, I unboxed it and I was like, oh, there's no cover. Where's like the cover and like the ladder and all that kind of stuff? And I read one of the reviews and he's like, oh, it's all inside.
Yeah.
So I opened it up and I went inside and it's all inside. I'm like, oh, and all the materials feel like high quality. Like the fly is high quality. The tent is thick.
Nice.
It's fairly thick.
Love it thick.
It's not a nice canvas, but it's pretty thick.
You don't want canvas. You don't want canvas.
And yeah, it's fairly comfy on the inside and it's super quick to set up.
Nice.
I was fairly impressed.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool.
Other than that, edited the Patreon video.
Oh,
right.
The potted meat.
The potted meat shopping video.
Yep.
And due to the HDCV or HEVC codec that my phone uses to compress HD video, it doesn't like to decompress on my computer properly.
Yes.
So I couldn't edit it in Adobe because of HDR. Adobe doesn't like HDR10 and all those videos were shot in HDR10.
It's crazy. You pay so much for the money for this program and it doesn't work.
Yeah, right? And even,
Jesus.
And this is like, I'm using Elements. But even, I did a lot of Googling and even like Premiere Pro, you can't handle HDR10. Like it just won't do it. And like,
crazy.
So I'm editing in
DaVinci's
Resolve.
Superior.
And I absolutely hate editing in DaVinci's Resolve.
Superior program, I believe.
My toolbox doesn't work properly in it because for some reason DaVinci doesn't buffer the entire video into like a buffer.
Oh.
So when you're like scrolling with the wheel, it's just like stuttering back and forth all over the place. I'm like, I'm like trying to go frame by frame with my high precision toolbox wheel. And it's like, oh, you want to go 30 frames this way and then 20 frames back?
Oh,
God damn it.
I guess that's why I have trouble with DaVinci that way. Like you'd be using Adobe and just zipping around. I'm like, fuck, I need more RAM, I guess. But I guess you need a different program.
Even me, I've got 32 gigs of RAM. I've got, the 4900X or 5900X Ryzen 9, and it's still, and a super fast hard drive, and it still just like flutters around and like,
that's called that's not a bug, that's a feature.
And one thing I also hate is that it separates the audio and the video track.
Why do you hate that?
it's separated. So like your main one has the audio and video together. And then the second track puts the audio, track 2 video goes above track 1 video and track 2 audio goes below track 1 audio.
I think you can rearrange those.
God, I hope so. Cause
I'm pretty sure if you unlock them, you can move them to wherever you want.
It's so annoying having those separated out.
Yeah, I think that you can change those around.
Cause I'll be like looking to try and not cover up something on the top. And it'll cover it up on the bottom, and it just completely.
Or are you looking to have the audio next to the video?
The audio next to the video every time.
Oh, I don't know if that's possible then. Yeah. I was misunderstanding.
So I went through, the 5 hours of footage that we shot.
No, it wasn't that much.
We shot a lot of video because the total video length for that Patreon video was 23 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think we shot a lot of video.
The only thing I noticed that we recorded that wasn't in there was when we were going into the superstore and I said, what percentage of a chance are we going to get new meat here? And we said our percentage guess or whatever. That was the only thing I remember recording that I did not see in that. Everything else I remembered.
Yeah, I think something was off with that footage. Like
it was probably noisy as fuck because we were in the...
Oh, okay, yeah, so we were in the basement.
Yeah.
And I had to color correct every single shot in here because of the HDR10 and DaVinci Resolve was just blowing out everything. Like it was undersaturated and overexposed.
Nice.
So I had to like dial it back a whole lot just to get it to look semi-decent.
Yeah.
So when we were saying that stuff, we were in front of my Jeep with my license plate clearly visible.
Oh, yeah.
So I tried to do like a track blur.
Yeah.
But when you do the track blur, when you put the square there to track and blur it, it puts the all the color correction just in that square.
Nice.
All the color correction just went into that square and everything got blown out again. I'm like, oh my God.
Nice. That's weird.
Blurred and color corrected tiny little square.
Crazy.
So I was like, okay.
Yeah, get rid of it. No, that's fine. I just don't remember anything else we said that wasn't in the video, so... Well, I remember recording other things, like when we went into the fresh market and there was those lockers. We were talking about the lockers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that didn't really have anything to do with what we were doing, so...
I saw that clip was, like, buried. Like, when I loaded everything into DaVinci, into the clip storage, it's not done by time. It's only done by file name. So, like, I had to, like, scan through and try and find each clip in chronological order.
Oh, weird.
And I somehow missed that clip, and I went back and played it, and I was like, I probably don't need to put this in there.
Yeah. Exactly.
All that Freshco market stuff, nothing really interesting happened.
No.
So I didn't really leave anything in there from that, just the going to and coming from.
Oh, yeah. I remember I said they had artisanal dump bins.
Yes, they did have artisanal dump bins. So while I'm editing this video, just being frustrated to heck about it, a friend messaged me on Steam. He's like, hey, can you give me a hand with voting for my CSGO League team?
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I want to play in a thing. And I'm like, I don't know. This guy's local.
Yeah.
I don't know him too well. I know he plays CSGO.
Okay.
So I was like, sure, I'll help you out with that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, seems kind of sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to the website. Website seems fully legit.
Yeah.
Everything, all the links work. You can click to places. Everything works.
Yeah.
And it's like, you go to vote and it pops up with a Steam login.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I got 2FA. It's fine.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work out and they take out my password, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like I can change it. And, so I log in and it pops up on my phone. Hey, are you logging in? I'm like, yes. I sure am. I was like, oh, it must be legit.
Yeah.
But no. It's definitely not legit. So what that does, I think, is that it saves that login token to that person's computer.
Yeah.
And now they're logged into your account.
Yeah.
So I guess my account is just garbage to people because they didn't take it. They didn't change the password. They didn't change the email. They didn't take anything. There are no trade offers, no purchases, nothing. And then they start messaging people about, hey, can you help me send my CSGO team?
Yeah.
But everyone that they messaged was an ultra close friend of mine.
Yeah.
except for a couple people, and those guys, and only one person got bamboozled because I went through and I looked at the chat history.
Yeah.
So they were messaging people who were very close to me, and they're like, no.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk like this.
So you must have got like through back into it and cut them off before they had a chance to do anything to everybody. Because like I didn't get a message.
No, they got maybe 15 people messaged, and most of them knew me pretty good. So Master of None, one of our Patreons and longtime viewer, messaged me. She's like, hey, what's going on here? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? So I run downstairs. I can see that a bunch of my friends list has been blocked. Because after they message somebody, they block them.
Oh, crazy.
And they block from communication. So I'm like looking at it, I'm like, oh man, what the heck? But I still have access to my account.
Yeah.
And nothing's changed. So I'm just like, log out everywhere.
Yeah.
Change password. Done.
Yeah. She messaged me like, hey, what is going on with this here? I got a weird message from Mikey, and I was just like, well, what does it say? And it's like, oh, can you go and vote for my school's CSGO team? I'm like, he's not in school.
Yeah, right?
Like, obviously this is fake. So, yeah.
Yeah. But, so, got that done. Got my password changed. It's fine.
Yeah. No, that's weird.
Yeah. Like, how did they do that with the 2FA? Because it 2FA'd my phone.
Maybe it was they got your login and then they use that to log in immediately on Steam.
Yeah, could be.
Rather than via the website. Who knows? But it's weird that
it was just completely automatic and looked pretty legit.
It's weird that like they got your password somehow by asking for it from Steam.
Yeah, it autofilled.
That's Oh, you didn't log in with Steam. Like, there's not a like login with Steam.
Yeah, there was
button?
the login with Steam.
Huh.
It was weird.
Weird.
Yeah, they had something going on like that. But for most of the people who tried it, that tried to get bamboozled by it, the website wasn't working. It had gone down. I was like, oh, thank God.
Crazy.
Yeah, so they must have been getting a lot of hits at that time, and so the website went down.
Yeah, they might have been just trying to get as many out as possible to see who they could compromise, and then later go back through and actually take over the accounts.
Yeah. So I spent like 2 hours going through my friends list, unblocking everyone, seeing if they got bamboozled, and then contacting them outside and be like, hey, you got to change your stuff.
Yeah. Crazy.
So there was only one person that did. And I had no other way to contact him than through Steam, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Not much. Yeah, that was my Friday. A little bit stressed out. Didn't get much done.
Yeah, no doubt.
I was in the midst of making dinner when that happened. I was like, fuck.
Crazy.
Yeah. And the only thing I really played other than the Game Club game was Myth Force.
Oh, Myth Force.
Briscoe and I teamed up for a multiplayer action, and man, that game is fun in multiplayer.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
Yeah. I played a little bit on the Discord you were watching.
Yeah, you made it look a lot better than the trailer did anyways. I guess the trailer's like quick cuts and like whatever, so you can't really get a good idea about it.
Yeah, well, the trailer's just like and they do the opening sequence, which is super good.
Yeah, that part was cool, but then they showed the game and I just was like, eh. But you don't really get a good look at like how the graphics look in the like. No. You get an idea like, oh, they're kind of cell shaded. That's cool.
Yeah.
But then when it's actually like on the screen for extended amount of time, it's like, okay, now I sort of see what they're going for here. So I didn't think the gameplay trailer was very good.
I don't think I watched the gameplay trailer. I watched a YouTuber play it and I was like, oh man, this looks good. And I was like trying to remember the name for a while. I'm like, oh yeah, Myth Force.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, it's only on Epic? Oh, Epic must have given them a bag to get
that. Jeez Louise, typical Epic buying the exclusives. Oh my, OMG, why just can't it be on Steam?
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I bought it on Epic and I've been playing it and it's good. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of got a cool little build thing going on where you know, if you get the right random level up things, you can like work your way to getting a different type of build every time. So
yeah, every time you level up, you can get a choice of three or four upgrades to your stats, and then 3 or 4 ability upgrades, perks.
Yeah. So
yeah, it was and then outside, because it's a roguelike, you die and then you level up your character outside so that you can have, there's 3 skill trees you can go down, each with 10 levels. And so you can get like up increases to your health and your stats and all that through there, special skills, and then you can upgrade your skills with perk points.
Yeah.
So the character I was using, Victoria, has a shield throw, has 3 bounces between enemies, but I have it upgraded so it has 5 bounces between enemies, and it can bounce to you and give you a shield.
Classic.
Yes.
Tank.
Yeah, super fun. I highly recommend playing it. It is in early access, so there's only the one adventure you can do right now.
Yeah, it was a little like there's a few things you could tell was early access. Like, oh, there's 2 pots like spawning in on top of each other.
I actually had it the other day where there were 3 pots.
Oh my god, 3 times the treasure.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah, super fun.
Cool.
Highly recommend it if you enjoy supporting early access games on Epic.
Sure.
Yeah,
I don't got a problem with it.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. I didn't really play anything too crazy. I started Phoenix Wright. Wait, did I talk about that last time?
Yeah,
maybe I did. Played a little Satisfactory, a little Vintage Story. I think that's about it, really. Oh, no. I went and I got all the achievements in Donut Valley. It's called Donut Valley? Yeah, Donut Valley. It's like a game where you control a hole in the ground, and as it eats stuff, it gets bigger, like Katamari, kind of.
Yeah, that's up my alley.
It was on Game Pass. It's leaving, and I played it and, beat it, whatever. But then there was like 10 achievements. So I was like, how hard are these achievements? And it was like, beat this level without swallowing the radio. Oh, I can do that. So I just went through and got all the achievements and wrapped it up. So yeah, it's leaving Game Pass. I enjoyed it. It's a short one. It's like 3 hours. Yeah.
Maybe if I got time, I'll hop on and play it.
I liked it.
Yeah, it's I've watched a couple of people play it and I'm like, I could get into this.
Yeah. It was interesting. Other than that, I didn't play anything really, but I did watch something.
Yes.
I watched Megan.
Yes.
Do you know Megan?
Yes.
Have you seen Megan?
No.
You should see Megan.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are complaining like, oh, it's so stupid or whatever. It's like, God, it's a horror movie. Like, come on.
Yeah. It's seriously a horror movie taking inspiration from other 80s horror movies, isn't it?
Well, it's like... It
feels like that.
I mean, not really, but it's like she's an android. Yeah. Basically. She goes banana sandwiches.
Oh.
So people are like, oh my God, there's a part where she's singing and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. It's crazy. But I think... I mean, it's not like a full-sized power washer, but there is a power washer murdering in it.
Yeah.
So you should watch it anyways. Yeah, it's just like a stupid horror movie, basically. Huh. I don't know. People always complain like, oh my God. I remember one of our mutual friends was complaining about The Hills Have Eyes. Like, everyone's so stupid in that movie. And the only smart characters in that movie are the dog. It's like, dude, it's a horror movie.
Everyone's supposed to be dumb, otherwise the plot doesn't progress.
Like, they wouldn't have even been in this situation in the first place. So,
yeah, smart people live.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen bad horror movies, but like, they're bad for like other reasons. Like, oh, the story's dumb. Oh, no shit. Like, of course, it's about a friggin' girl-sized robot.
Yeah.
Of course it's not. It's pretty far-fetched. Anyways, whatever. I liked it. The only other thing I did is I didn't watch, but I listened to an audiobook.
Oh.
Called The Shards. It's Bret Easton Ellis's new book. He wrote, like, Lesson Zero and American Psycho and, I don't know, Imperial Bedrooms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is like... It's like semi-autobiographical because he's the star of the book as himself as a teenager.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's also not real at all because he murders someone. But it's just the story of, like, affluent teenagers in Los Angeles in the 80s dealing with going to school as well as doing drugs, and there's a murderer. A serial killer going around killing his friends. And it was good. I liked it. It's a little long, I think. That's kind of the way these books go with these authors, where it's like their first book gets published. Like, if you go back and look at early Stephen King books, they're like 180 pages, 150 pages, because the editor be like, well, we can cut all this stuff out. You don't need any of this. But then now Stephen King is Stephen King. So it's like, no, my book's 3,000 pages long. We're not cutting anything. Yeah. And that's kind of what this book is. It's like the longest book he's ever done. And there's a lot of parts where I'm like, what was even the point of this scene? I mean, there's a lot in his books. There's a lot of scenes where it's like, what was doesn't really move the story along at all, but it's like still interesting. Whereas this, it was just like, why was this here? So I like it, but there is a lot of gay sex in this book. Like a lot of descriptions of cocks being sucked and stuff like that.
You listen to that in the office, just full on the
no.
Bluetooth
This
speaker?
was on the old in the old earpieces at the warehouse. Yeah. So I liked it a lot. Anyways, I'm listening to it a second time because when I finished it, I was like, oh, I need to hear about these cocks again. No. At the end, I was like, wow, I think he like referenced all this stuff earlier in the book and you didn't really know what he was referencing. And so I was like, I want to listen to it again. And then I can be like, oh yeah, that did come to play later. So, which is called foreshadowing.
yes.
So it's like an important literary device. So I got it on my Audible account with my monthly credit.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So I liked it. I recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it as my first Bret Easton Ellis book, probably. But if you've read any of his other ones, you would probably enjoy this one.
Nice.
I mean, the Less Than Zero's first book is like the book I've read the most ever. I've read it like 10 times. So, and I have it on an audiobook now too, so I can listen to it whenever I want.
Nice.
Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm looking at the show notes here, and you had typed in Megan, and I'm like, okay, he watched Megan, the horror show, and then you typed in The Shards.
Yes,
no punctuation, it's just Megan the Shards, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Like, what is this now? Megan the Shards. I'm not entirely sure. Is this like a
commas are for the weak?
Yeah. Did he mean to type Sharts? Megan the Shards?
She Sharts? I don't think there's any Sharts in that movie. Some murdering for sure.
Yeah. Nice.
I liked it.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else is very good?
No.
Game Club.
Oh.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, each week we play a chapter or a segment or a timed interval of a game.
Yes.
And then we talk about it.
Yes.
And of course, this time we were playing Plague Tale. And this chapter
Requiem.
of Plague Tale is 12. Is it?
I don't know the number.
I can't remember.
Maybe.
But yeah, we are playing Plague Tale Requiem.
Uh-huh.
And it's so far.
Yeah.
It's real so-so.
We keep going back and forth on it like, oh, this is the turning point. The game is good now finally. And then the next chapter will be like, actually, no, they changed it back. It sucks again.
Yeah.
I decided to like look up some reviews score-wise to see what everyone was saying. And it's like pretty well like we're on the wrong side of history.
Yes, we definitely are. Because anyone that I've listened to or seen is like, oh man, this game is amazing. And I'm like, did we play the same game?
Well, I think it's because we went immediately from the first to the second, where everyone else has like had years in between.
Yes.
So maybe they don't remember the first one very well or whatever. But yeah, I mean, we could immediately see the changes when we started playing the second
100%,
one.
100%.
Whereas everyone else might not remember, like, hey, it was a lot easier to kill guys in the first game because it's way harder in this one.
Yes.
More of a pain, big time. But whatever. It's no big deal. We're allowed to have a differing opinion.
Oh, 100%.
I think.
100%.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
No, you are right.
Cool.
So, previous chapter.
Good to hear. Yes.
Previous chapter, we do some escaping. We kill the Countess with massive amounts of rats, and we fall down into the underground, and now it's time to get out.
Yes.
Meanwhile, at this current juncture, Hugo just messed up.
I think he got PTSD.
He got PTSD for sure. He's just standing there, just dead eyes off into space.
They keep saying the macula is taking over.
Yeah. And yeah, they're underground. They go to another rat warren, and it's just like this huge rat nest. And Hugo's like, I'm home. This is my home. Don't take me.
I want to be here.
I want to be here.
Be one with the rats.
Yeah. There's a lot of Amicia crying.
Oh, God.
And a lot of emotion being spewed out all over the place, which is, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay, except like when I went into a side room and then she had a breakdown in the room, and I just was like, oh my God, can we just move this along, please?
Yes, that was a very long souvenir. And I was like, yeah, okay, Amicia, let's go.
I can't go on anymore. No, I have to get up. Just get up and go. It's like, oh my God.
I mean, I get what they were trying to do. But drive home the emotion, drive it really home. But
okay, I agree too. But it also, like, she was talking about like, Lord, give me strength, and it was like, okay, this is like in the first game, it was more religious, I found.
Yes, way more.
Whereas this would have maybe this scene would have made more sense if she went through a crack and found like, I don't know, some sort of like altar or something like that.
Yeah,
or like
not an alchemy station.
Yeah, not like a friggin' like workbench and she has a breakdown. I just was like, oh, what is this?
Yeah,
even?
I don't know why she had a breakdown there. That didn't make...
I don't know.
It didn't really make sense. I mean, it kind of did because she came in and everything's broken.
Maybe
and
it's
she's just like, oh my God, it's like home.
She's out of the sight of them so she can have a moment of weakness and not be strong.
That could be.
But I was just like, this would have made more sense if it was like an altar or like there's a crucifix there or something.
Or some place that reminded her of her home.
Yeah.
Like her mom like a child's room or something.
Her mom just died, so, you know, her heart's feeling heavy, I'm sure, but
oh yeah, for sure.
It was just, anyways, I was like, whatever. At this part, when they went through like the rat cave and had like, it looked kind of geometric in the distance.
It was very Geiger-esque.
I was just like, is this going to be some Assassin's Creed like aliens bullshit's happening soon? Just, it looked a little too much like not natural.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the set pieces down in the cave.
Yeah, this cave was fun.
They looked really good. And, you know, we're down there. They come across this giant womb of rats, like huge. Yeah. And Hugo's not wanting to leave there. And then Amicia rips him away. Yeah. And then
that makes the rat
makes the rats
blob
pop.
Mad.
And so now we're in a running scene.
We're playing Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, we're playing Crash Bandicoot again. I didn't find this part particularly jarring or out of place. It was the correct length, I felt, for a segment like this. It was short.
Yeah, it was fine.
Which is the correct length for this segment, for sure.
Right.
And when they're running through there, they manage to get out of the rat warren, get to a fire. Everyone's, super out of breath, and Hugo finally snaps out of it.
Yeah. And then just kills a bunch of guys. No, he clears out the rats for us.
Yeah.
There's like a giant valley full of rats, and Hugo's like, nah, I'm the rat boss, and he makes them all run into the ocean.
Yeah. It's like, yep.
And Amicia's like, why don't you do this more often? And he's like, it hurts. Okay, I guess we're not going to do it again.
Yeah.
But this was I finally could use my crossbow.
Oh yeah, I just killed everyone.
I have the ability to recover them. You don't get them back every time though.
Oh, I got them back every time.
Now there's a few where I didn't get them back every time, but I also was like, oh, this game, man. Sometimes like the first 3 kill him with crossbow, no problem. And then I go down, there's a guy to the left, I kill him with the crossbow, no problem. And then I go down the wrong crack and there's like, oh, there's a blob here, it explodes, you die. The rats get you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's cool. Sweet. I wanted to replay this section again too. So then again, I start this section, kill the 3 guys, go down to the left. This time, Buddy sees me shoot him somehow, so he blocks the crossbow bolt. So now I've been alerted. So I was like, all right, come kill me. Whatever. Stand there, let him kill me. So, and then the third time, it's like, okay, I can fight my way through here. And now with the crossbow, it's kind of like too easy almost. Especially now, I also unlocked the ability to make a firebomb with a pot. So it's like, oh, he has a shield? Oh, here, have a firebomb. And I burn him to death. And
I didn't think about using the fire bombs and the shield guys.
Yeah. The only time it didn't work was when we get later when we're rescuing Arno.
With the kite shield guys?
The kite shield guys, where you have to shoot their little armor off first. Then you can burn them with the firebomb. But, I mean, anyways.
So yeah, this whole part is just uneventful. Slaughter the guys, because we both have our crossbows just fully tuned up so that we can recover bolts. So you just, it's just, I have 5 crossbow bolts. There's 5 dead guys. Go recover them.
Yeah, basically.
It's fine. It was very reasonable, this area, I think. There's a tower that falls down because the whole landscape's been converted by the rats coming out and destroying it all. And so the city's on fire. Everything's kind of crumbling and in great disarray. And a tower falls over and you have to eventually cross that to get across the chasm to the other side. You know, a lot of killing dudes, not much puzzle solving.
So before we cross that fallen over tower to get there, I got noticed in that section, in the city section there. Mm-hmm. And it was like the fucking Keystone Cops running through there, man. I'd jump through a window and then they'd come around. And I just kept running around and getting far enough away. So I got far enough away. It's like, oh, I can shoot this guy. Okay, perfect. And then this, like, the big guy's following me. I can't shoot him. I know I can burn him, but I have to break his armor off. So it's like, I can't, get a bead on his back to break his armor. So I just ran up some stairs, went around the wall, and then when he started climbing the stairs, he turned his back to me. It's like, oh my God, this is so dumb. I break his armor off. I'm hit him with a pot. He's dead. But I ran around for like 5 minutes just... Oh my God, it would have looked so stupid in a like sped up montage.
Yeah, that section there, the one right before you cross the bridge, I know what section you're talking about. I hopped through a window and was able to see everyone. Crossbow bolt. Dude walks up the stairs, knock his armor off, crossbow bolt. Yeah. Done.
Yeah, it was just like, wow.
And then recover it all.
But yeah, I picked up every item in this chapter.
So we must be getting, I did too. Yeah. We must be getting close to the end because even the guys are dropping pieces.
Oh yeah,
everyone's dropping. There's pieces everywhere.
That's what I thought too as I'm going through. It's like I just found like 50 pieces in this chapter. Yeah. It's like they really want me to level up here.
Yeah. So we find out as you alluded to earlier, that Arno is about to be executed, and Hugo's like, "No, we're rescuing him. Yeah. I'm not leaving until we rescue Arno." And we're like, he sold us out. He's like, I don't care. I like Arno.
Did he sell us out though? He didn't really. He just wanted to get us close to the count so he could kill him, and then we sold him out.
No, he wanted to get us close to the count so Hugo could kill him with the rats.
Okay, well, whatever. Same thing. Same thing, really. Yeah. Now we have a common goal now.
Yeah. Kill the count.
If only we would have listened to Arno in the first place, nothing would have happened.
Yeah, none of this
Our mom would probably be alive still.
So yeah, Arno is about to be hung. We got to go down there and have the most bullshit combat that I found in this chapter.
I mean, it was terrible and whatever, but I didn't die this time.
I did a couple times. I was just running around the outside trying to find the pots and line it up to get the pots. Because I didn't remember that you could use your fire ignifier on the Greek fire.
Oh, yeah.
I kept hitting it with regular rocks and being like, why the frig is this not working?
Oh, that sucks. No, as soon as it went in there, I was like, all right, fire rock on this Greek fire. Burnt like so many guys to death.
Yeah.
And I would they're so stupid in this game. I'll be like, let me stand behind this Greek fire. Why don't you walk straight towards me and I'll set it off and kill you? So
yeah. So I didn't use the first.
So you had to kill those 5 guys at the start, without exploding?
Yeah, you hit them with the regular pot.
Holy fuck!
You don't have to use the Greek fire. Hit them with the regular pot and they all die.
Oh, because they're standing close enough together?
Yeah, they're standing close enough together.
I thought you meant you killed them all with rocks.
No, you kill them all at once still without hitting the Greek fire. You just hit the regular tar pot.
Oh, okay.
I was okay, done.
I killed them with the Greek fire.
Yeah, there's Greek fire all over. There's bolts that respawn all over. And then
there's also the dust bags too.
Lucas, the idiot.
Oh, yeah. Throwing
what is he throwing? Extinguish at them?
Yeah, I think so.
So... like I said, I couldn't figure out how to ignite that Greek fire. So we were just running around. I'm like, okay, Lucas is throwing stuff at them to make him block so that I can hit their armor thing off.
Yeah.
But I'd be running away from him. Lucas would be behind them and he'd be like, Amicia, it's your turn now. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I had to spin shot 360 no scope this guy with my sling in the 500th of a second that he blocks your stupid extinguish with.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. No, the one I hit the little dirt bag and that would make them dusty, and then I'd run behind them and shoot off their armor that way. So yeah, but I mean, what's left in the chapter? We rescue Arno and then we leave. Yeah, the end. We meet up at the boat, and what's her name is there?
Yep,
that's the end of the chapter.
That's the end of the chapter. All in all, pretty good chapter.
Our new mom and dad. It was fine, but as the whole thing, I was just like, I cannot wait for this game to be over.
Yeah,
I'm done with this game.
The last chapter was terrible. This chapter was okay, but still, I'm like, who's the main antagonist?
I mean, it's going to be the Count. He's going to be the end guy.
How's he going to follow us?
I don't know.
We're on a boat.
How did the rats get onto the island? Well, I guess they were already there.
They were already there.
Well, there's another boat on the other side of the island, man. There's lots of options here.
They're just going to chase them? How do they even know they're
How did
gone?
Our mom know we were here?
How did?
She followed the destruction across Europe, basically.
Yeah, but they got on a boat. There was no destruction on the boat. They just sailed across the sea.
Anyways, you're thinking too hard about this game. Yeah, it'll be the count, and we got our new mom and dad, Arno, and what's her name? It'll be our new mom.
Sophia?
Sophia's our new mom. Yeah. Arno's our new dad. I'm whatever. Hopefully it's almost done. No, but you said there's 16 chapters,
yeah,
right?
it should be almost done.
Yeah, but that was like chapter 12 or 13, so we still got like
4 more
weeks of this shit.
There might be a chapter like in the first one where we're just like, oh, we're coming to the end. We're just going to finish it right now.
Yeah.
But that game was good enough for us to go.
That game was more like, yeah, I want to see where this is going. Whereas this one, it's just like, I can't wait for it to end.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Yeah. That's chapter 12 of Plague Tale and our opinions on it.
I see we have a question from 9 Arsons asking us, how do we choose the next game? Generally, we'll just look for something that tickles our pickle.
Yep. Or if someone has recommends a suggestion for us.
We've been recommended Dishonored for the next one.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I want to play Dishonored, don't get me wrong, but I'd like to play something that's like not like so dark, maybe.
Like, something a little bit lighter.
Maybe something cozier.
Yeah.
Like, it's been so much, like, every game is just, like, we went from Plague Tale to Plague Tale 2. Before that, we had Alan Wake. Before that, Guardians of the Galaxy, which would probably be the lightest thing we've played, really.
Yes, definitely.
But the last 3 games have been, like...
dark as frig.
Yeah, so it's like, maybe something to mix it up a bit.
A little bit lighter.
But, something that's not rat-themed, exactly. I would like it to have chapters that makes it easier. Nothing too long, chapter-wise. Like not Alan Wake, Jesus Christ. Phoenix Wright has chapters, but it's like a 4-hour chapter. So it's like, that's not too good.
Yeah, that's a lot of time.
So if you have a suggestion, let us know. We could try to do timed intervals too, but that's a little harder to do.
Yeah, and it all depends on the game.
Yes.
Because like we mentioned last week, that the timed intervals on
Death Stranding
was very different.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's a lot harder to discuss something when you're not experiencing the same thing.
Yeah, it is, but it's also like interesting. Like, I would think about back to when people would be playing like Fallout 4 for the first time and be like, oh no, I went this way, and oh yeah, and this happened and that happened and blah 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 blah, and it's kind of like, oh, I didn't even know you could do that. Oh, if I went there, I could have found this. Oh, that's crazy. So, not that I want to play Fallout as the next game either.
No,
there's rats in that game too.
Yes.
So
rats.
No skeevers either. Skeevers count as a rat. So no Elder Scrolls. So yeah, I hope it picks up here at the end. I don't know, like, I think Amici's got to die at the end of this one, but who knows?
Yeah.
Anyways,
Last of Us.
Oh,
episode 2.
It's
did a hot launch.
Uplifting show.
It's extremely uplifting. Spoiler alert here, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't started watching the Last of Us series, you should. It is currently on HBO. What's their streaming service now? HBO Go?
HBO Max.
HBO Max or Crave. And I am watching it on Crave, and you are watching it illegally.
No. Don't say that out loud. Yeah. I've watched it.
I have also watched. So I tried to watch it last Sunday after the podcast. It was like, it's airing 6:00.
Yeah.
I'm like, great. I'll go in. I'll watch it then. 6:00. Nothing. 6:30. Nothing.
On Crave?
Yeah.
It would probably be 9:30 or 10 when it finally showed up.
No, it showed up at 7.
Oh, 7. Weird.
So it showed up an hour after it broadcast because I think they wanted to get it live on HBO broadcast before they put it up.
That's like HBO East Coast, not HBO West Coast.
And it was on regular Crave. So I'm on my through my service provider Crave, and it's a little bit different.
Oh yeah.
On regular Crave, it was right there. I was like, why can't I watch this on my service provided Crave?
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
So how did you watch it?
I watched it yesterday.
Oh.
On my service provided Crave.
Oh, so it's just delayed?
It showed up at 7 instead of 6.
Okay. Yeah, I watched it on like Tuesday or something like that. I don't remember exactly when. It showed up on my service provider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing I gotta say about this episode is the set pieces are fantastic. They look like there's a lot of practical,
There is.
There's a lot of practical, and some of the set pieces that are gigantic, they only spend like 5-10 minutes there.
Yeah.
If that.
Well, like
the scene where they're going into the hotel and it's full of water. That's a huge set.
Yeah.
And it's like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy man. They are putting in some dedication to world building and storytelling and keeping it accurate to the game. I don't know.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
You can speak more to that than I can.
Some of the lines were like straight out of the game. Yeah. Basically, some of the shots and everything. Though, okay, first thing with this one, this episode was actually directed by Neil Druckmann. He's the guy that directed the game.
Oh, well.
So I was like, wow, they let him direct an episode too? That's crazy.
That's pretty
usually they're just like, no, not a chance. So I understand why they didn't let him do the first episode, because that's the pilot.
Yep.
They want to get the show picked up, so they put someone who is, probably a director who's done lots of pilots.
Yeah.
So they can get it done, in a way that the studios like to see. But I thought he did a good job directing it. Everything, there was nothing where I was like, oh, this guy shouldn't be directing. So then again, directing for TV, I've heard, is also kind of like, you don't really direct too much. You just say action and whatever. You don't sort of give actual movie type directions. Like even when I heard Quentin Tarantino, he directed an episode of CSI once, and they were kind of just like, you just say action and whatever, and they'll act it out. And like, the guy that plays Gil Grissom has done it in 300 episodes, and he's going to do it his way, and that's the way it's going to be. And so it's a little different than doing a movie, but the set, was filmed in Calgary. So there's a lot of behind the scenes pictures of them doing their scenes, like when they're walking on the bridge.
Yeah.
And all the, CGI destroyed buildings in the background.
Looks great.
It does look good. But yeah, the set scenes would be like, they just have cars set up with like weeds and shit on them on the bridge. And then when it's done, they just take that away.
Yeah.
Move it on. We finally get to really see the actual clickers and everything in this episode. Like, I don't think we ever really saw anything in the first episode.
No, just exploded ones.
I mean, we saw the like prototype ones that were going on a rampage in the city. Yeah. At the start, but none of them had like fucking daikon mushrooms growing out of their head or anything like that. Yeah, they had not
been fully mushroomed out.
Yeah. So we get to see them in this one, and they look gross. But,
yeah. Gross and colorful in mushroom-like sense.
Yeah. It was a little video gamey. Like a little bit. You can tell it's based on a video game. It's like, oh, we can't go this way. Well, maybe we'll go through the museum instead. I know an alternate route. And I just was like, it's a little video gamey.
It is a little video gamey, but there's also, it kind of makes sense that there might only be a few certain ways through the city due to buildings collapsing and stuff just being generally blocked off.
I don't know if it's just because I know it's based on a video game, but as I'm watching, it's like, we're on the escort mission now. And then there was a bit of a tower defense in this last episode. And the first episode was a fetch quest where they ought to go get the battery. It's like, oh my God. So, there was a noble sacrifice in this episode.
Yep. We knew it was coming sometime.
Did we?
Yeah.
Why did we?
Because she's not in the game that often.
I've never made it that far. So
yeah. Well, you have now.
The game's spoiled.
The game is spoiled.
She got nibbled on, so she's gonna let them escape while she blows up
divine wind.
Yeah, divine wind. She blows up the.
So yeah, they're escorting Ellie through the city, try and get to the fireplace so that they can get her out of there.
Yeah,
and then get their battery, get their equipment, and get off to see his brother. So they go through the museum. They try and go through the hotel, which is a really great set piece, but it's all collapsed in the one area they used to go through. Mm-hmm. So now they have to take the hard way, the fast but difficult way through the museum.
Yes.
And in the museum, it's all like mushroomed out, but the mushrooms are all dry. We learn that because it's a fungus, it's got roots everywhere.
Sorry, we're there. It's not actually, that's not the museum. The museum was before that. This is like the Capitol building. The museum was where the clickers were, the mushroom men faced.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the short route. through the
Yeah,
museum.
they go through there and then they get into the Capitol building, which is where she blew it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
okay, sorry.
They're talking about when they're in the hotel that it's like the roots of the mushroom go, the fungus go far and wide, so that if you step on roots somewhere, they will know. Yeah. Because it's alive elsewhere. So when they go to the museum, it's all mushroomed out in there. There's roots everywhere, but it's all dry. Yeah. Like it's all dry and dead. So they feel like it's safe to go in there, and they do go in there, and there's a brief fight with the clickers. Yeah. And they can't see, but they can hear. Yeah. Good. So they're all like super quiet going through there. Mm-hmm. And, they eventually get through. Yep. Over to the Capitol building. Mm-hmm. Meet the Fireflies. They're all dead. Yes. There was a firefight in there. Yeah. And because someone got a mushroom. Someone got bit. He was turned into a mushroom man. Yeah. And at this point, we find out that what's-her-face has been Tess has been bitten. Yeah. And mushroomized. And she's going to sacrifice herself so that Ellie can survive. Yeah. And she's kind of like, Joel, like, you got to make sure Ellie survives. Yeah. I've never asked you for anything, you son of a bitch. So make sure she lives. Yeah. She's the only hope. So yes. she's fully drank the Kool-Aid. I mean, she's got bit 2 times and she's still alive. So she's like the cure, I guess. I don't know. So Joel's like making a tough decision, like, oh, what do I do? And then finally he's like, yeah, okay, let's go. Get out of here, Ellie. Yeah. So there's like a bunch of barrels of fuel there for whatever reason, a bunch of military supplies, which they don't take. No, you don't need those. Don't need the grenades, don't need the extra ammunition or communications equipment or anything. You just knock the barrels over, knock all the grenades on the ground, and no time to loot. No time to loot. There's always time to loot. Yeah. Yeah, they killed the one guy and he was linked to the mushroom men. So when he killed him, the mushrooms sent out the mushroom signal to the other mushroom men to come running, and they did come running. Oh, they sure did. Yeah. So there's a really gross scene. Yeah. Where what's her name? Tess. Tess is trying to light the lighter to get the fuel, and it won't light. Yeah. And she's sitting there trying to light it, and then one of the mushroom men who's not quite fully mushroomized notices her. Well, there's different types of mushroom men, so clickers are different. But yeah. These are like the grunt mushroom men. Yeah. He's like, oh, she's looking fine over there. I better give her a mushroom kiss on the mouth. And she just accepts it. Well, I think she was partially mushroomized. So. Yeah. Yeah, he comes over and the fungus is coming out of his mouth, and he like kisses her and gives her the mushrooms in the mouth. It's very weird. Yeah. And then the lighter finally lights as she's getting the hot mushroom makeout. Yeah. And it drops and blows up. But like, it took her so long. I think a bunch of mushroom men got through. Oh yeah, it felt like that. That's for sure. It took way too long for her to do it. So I don't know if that scene is in the game. I'd be interested to see if that was added for the show or the game or whatever. But yeah, it was pretty interesting anyways. Yeah. I enjoyed the episode. Oh yeah, me too. It was great. Pedro Pascal's good. Bella Ramsey's good. Anna Torv was good. It was good. Yes, agreed. I look forward to the next episode tonight. Yes. I'll watch it. Maybe tonight. Maybe. If it's on my totally perfectly legal streaming service. It totally is. I'll watch it tonight. Yes, for sure. You pay mad bucks for that. I sure do. I totally did. I legally watched Megan as well. Oh, nice. Yeah. Isn't that on Netflix though? No. It's in theaters. Oh, it's in theaters. But it is now on various. I thought that was a straight to streaming service kind of thing. No, that's a full theatrical release. That's how you know it's good. Oh, okay. Yep. That's how you know it's good. I have been made aware. There you go. And now I will make you guys aware of patreon.com/StreamVoid. Oh my God. That's the best and only way to support this podcast with your hard-earned dollary dues. Yes. For just $1 a month, you can get in there. You can throw that straight at the screen. Careful if you have a loony, because that will probably break your screen. Yes. But you get access to all the pre-show content, the post-show content, the in-between show content. Maybe we go on a long bathroom break and we talk about stuff in the bathroom. I've never done that. You get that content as well. I've never done that. That's always you. It is always me. But right now, the latest Patreon exclusive video is on Patreon. You can watch us go out about the town and buy luncheon meat.
Two wild and crazy guys.
Two wild and crazy guys. We go out, we buy luncheon meat, we go all over the city, and you can see our adventures doing that. And then next week, Saturday, we will be doing the Patreon exclusive live broadcast of us cracking open all that potted meat and taste testing it all.
Oh my God.
Giving you guys the full review. Maybe we'll do like a tier list of
we gotta rank them for sure.
The things for sure.
We gotta rank them for sure.
Rank
them on moistness as well as like flavor and saltiness
and appearance.
Yeah, texture, mouthfeel.
Yeah, high grade mouthfeel on this one.
Exactly.
So yeah, make sure you are on the Patreon if you want to watch this exclusive broadcast.
Yes,
just $1 a month.
Yes,
it's all it costs.
Do it.
Do it.
Thank you.
Let's get into some news.
Okay.
And we're just going to go right back to talking what we were just talking about. HBO's The Last of Us has officially been renewed for a second season.
Yeah, I mean, I think after the first episode, everybody should have known that they were going to get renewed for a second season.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest HBO opening weekend since Game of Thrones or something like that.
Yeah, and it's the biggest second episode
growth. Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Usually that doesn't happen.
No.
Usually it's all downhill. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, I think it was like 66 million people watched the second episode.
That's a lot.
Something like that.
That's a lot. Yeah, it's crazy. I guess zombies, don't call them a zombie. People still want to see them.
I guess cordyceps infected humans.
Yeah, that was weird. They kept saying that in the show. They didn't just say mushroom. They always said cordyceps or whatever.
Yeah, that's because it is a cordyceps.
Yeah, but do you think
it's not a mushroom? It's a type of fungus.
Okay, well, whatever. Don't you think they would have just said mushroom? I don't know. They got these like in The Walking Dead. They would always be like, it is an unwritten rule that you never call them a zombie in a zombie movie.
Yeah.
That's like number one rule, but they'd always be like have their little names for them in all the movies, like there's Shambler or the Walker or whatever.
Yeah,
as if they wouldn't have just been called Mushroom Heads or something like that, or Mushies,
or Fun Boys,
something like that.
Fung Boys.
Anyways, that's the only complaint. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's only been renewed for 2 seasons, though.
I mean, there's only 2 games.
Yeah, but they're going to continue with a new story for season 3. Or something. Come on, if it's this popular.
That's where it just dies.
No.
It's not based on the video game Aftermath.
No. They'll figure something out. I mean, Neil Druckmann has kind of said they might be done with The Last of Us game-wise anyways, so.
Yeah. I mean, maybe season 2 is just continuation of the first game.
It doesn't include, like, season 2 if it's not the second game?
I don't know. Maybe that's how they get 3 seasons. Is the second.
I mean, if they want to,
season is the second game.
I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, if they want to continue with the power dynamic they've got going on now, I guess they couldn't do the second game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no surprises.
Yeah,
it's good to see something not get canceled. Like, I'm just used to, like, there's this new show everyone's talking about on Netflix. Oh, yeah, we canceled it. That just happens all the time.
I guess I should have said what I watched on Netflix earlier.
Say it now.
I'm going to say it right now.
Yeah.
That 90s show.
Oh, my God. How bad was that?
I watched the first episode of that 90s show.
Yeah.
As a first episode, pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good. It's more of the same of that 70s show.
Okay.
And, they got the...
It's called That
90 Show. So it's when Eric and Donna...
Are they on the show? It's just Red. Oh, they're
on the show, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Red and Kitty are on the show, and they're kind of like the stars, but Donna and Eric are on there as well. They're married, have kids, and it's their kids that are staying.
Yeah. I knew that part, but I didn't know they were on the show too.
Yeah, and at the end of the first episode, spoiler alert, Jackie and Kelso come in.
Yeah.
And it's so funny.
Okay. Actually, that reminds me, I did watch one other thing too. Did you know there's a new version of Night Court?
I didn't.
It is an abomination.
I bet.
It's an affront against God. I watched probably 3 minutes of it and I was like, wow, this is terrible. And it has John Larroquette on it as Dan Fielding.
Mm-hmm.
but it is atrocious.
Ugh.
Oh my God. I couldn't believe it. Like, people were complaining about Velma. Like, Velma's like, whatever. Not too good, not too bad, whatever. But this was just bad. Like, the jokes were, oh my God. I was like, is this on network TV? Is this what is on network TV now? Like, what an abomination. So,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, a new Night Court? What the fuck? And then it's like, she's Harry Fielding's daughter. She's the new judge.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it was holy. You should just watch it just to be like, wow, okay, this is TV now in 2023. So bad. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm going to watch the second episode probably tonight, and I'll see if my opinion differs, but it seems like they have the entire cast back on.
Okay.
And they are heavily promoting it.
Oh yeah, big
like
time.
as soon as it came out, my YouTube feed was just like, hey, watch Red and Kitty do this, watch them react to that, watch this, watch that, and then it's just like everyone is on YouTube doing stuff.
I didn't see anything on YouTube about that, but
I guess I watched one, and now it's just like,
I
hey,
guess
you want to
so.
watch all this? I'm like, yes, I do.
That's good though. I remember, like, I really like Full House. You know, even now if I watch an old episode of Full House, it's like, oh, that's funny, whatever.
Yeah.
I tried to watch Fuller House when it came out. Like,
yeah.
Just atrocious.
Yeah, I watched the first episode of that, and I was like, I don't think so.
It was bad, but like Night Court was like next level bad. Like, holy, I couldn't believe it. You just should watch it for C. Dan Fielding. What he, you watch Night Court back in the day? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You should just watch it to see the jokes, I'm doing air quotes right now, that he says cause he's not a lawyer at the start of the episode. He's a barista.
Oh.
And his jokes about his drinks that he says, like anyways, you should just watch it.
Yeah.
Just terrible.
I'll have a peek.
Terrible.
All right, let's get back on track. Last of Us.
Okay. Yes.
So since the first episode came out, The Last of Us Part 1 has had a huge boost in sales, 238% in the UK. Couldn't find any stats in America, but yeah, it's gone back onto the best-selling games list at number 20. And
okay, but like, yeah, that is a lot. Sorry, I'll let you finish.
Yeah, it's a lot, a percentage, but what that equals to an actual physical sales, they don't really say in the article. And The Last of Us Remake has also seen a 322% spike in sales.
So there's two different things here. The Last of Us Part 1, I think, is the remake. And then the 322 is the remaster, which are two different
remastered.
things.
Yeah, okay.
So The Last of Us Part 1 remake is not that old. It only came out like 2 months ago.
Oh.
Last of Us Part 1 is old as fuck.
Yes,
that came out on the PS3. No, wait. Was it PS3? I think it was on the PS3 originally.
Yes, it was.
So then the remake is the one they're talking about here, I think. That's gone up 238%. So that is a lot, but that game's not that old. It's not like the PS3 or PS4 version is selling that much more. It's the new version that came out.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a remake and a remaster.
Yeah, the remake just came out because they wanted to make it more in line with The Last of Us Part 2. Sort of like...
Yeah, I kind of remember hearing
thematically
that.
As well as like design wise and character wise and all that stuff.
Yeah, so The Last of Us Remastered is just on PS4.
Well, you can play it on PS5. That's the one I have is the remastered one. But yeah.
It said, the article says that Last of Us Part 1, which returned to the charts at number 20.
Yeah,
had a sales spike.
That's the remake one.
Yeah. Right. Still pretty cool.
Yeah, oh for sure. It's, it's a nice bonus for Naughty Dog, I guess. I don't know.
For sure.
Do they see any money from that? I don't know. I think they've probably already been paid everything they're getting paid.
Yeah.
So
I was also reading that they are going to be stepping away from The Last of Us and Uncharted and doing something else.
Well, I would think that Uncharted they haven't done in a long time. And like there's been 5 Uncharted games, I think.
Yes.
There's 4 on the and then there was one PSP one, I think, or PS Vita one. At least, so.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I mean, I don't know. What are they going to do? Like, are they going to step away from Ratchet and Clank too, or?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
It's time for a new IP.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I see, like, yeah, they probably want to do something different, but I'm sure Sony's just like, hey, you remember that Last of Us? That's a really huge deal.
Yeah, maybe make one of those
one of those ones for us. I mean, they are working on a Last of Us, like, open world multiplayer thing or something. They showed it off at the Game Awards. So that's still coming, I guess. But I mean, whatever. They'll try to catch lightning in a bottle again with another franchise hit. I don't know. Could they do it? Probably.
Perhaps.
But
they've got a pretty good track record so far.
True.
Let's talk about a company that doesn't have a good track record.
Okay.
Fnastic.
Is that what it's pronounced?
Fnastic? It's like fantastic, but Fnastic.
I think it's just fantastic missing an A, but I don't think they're called Fnastic, are they?
You don't think so?
I would hope not.
We didn't really... I mean, we were watching the videos, but they were all in...
No, it's not. Definitely not Fnastic. It's FNTASTIC.
Fantastic?
Yeah, it's like fantastic missing the A, because then you can trademark
I didn't get that
it.
T in there.
Yeah. Fnastic.
Fantastic.
Fantastic?
I mean,
yeah.
Fnastic
maybe
sounds all right.
fantastic might be okay.
All right, so these guys had a game on Steam in pre-release. They've got one game on Steam called Prop Night, which is a Dead by Daylight clone, but also smash in Prop Hunt, where the people turn into props so they can hide from the killer. Mm-hmm. And it's not good.
I'm sure it's not.
It's not
made
good
by volunteers.
At all. And so they have a new game that's supposed to be coming out called The Day Before.
Yes.
And they, quote unquote, didn't register the trademark for that game, and then somebody else registered the trademark for the game.
Well, the name anyways.
The name.
And it covers like artistic representations, TV, movies, and video games.
Yeah. And so they had to Steam removed their games because of that game.
The trademark owner was like, hey, that's my trademark.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, you own it, so goodbye.
Yeah.
So, okay, someone trademarked it. They had their game removed. They forgot to register. Like, I don't understand. Like, this company, Fantastic, they sound like just, I don't even know what, like, they're going on, how they can operate this way anyways. Like, the first thing you do is you register the name. Yeah. Before you announce anything.
You register the name.
Like, if I came through on a popular podcast and said, like, I'm going to register, like, donutholelover24.com as a website, instantly someone registers that before I can do it.
Yeah.
So if you're making a game, first thing you do, first of all, you check to see if it's not registered already. They said they did that part, but then they were like, well, we'll register it later. And then someone registered it before them. So, okay, they're screwed that way. But the other thing, too, is if you can show prior use, you can't register it out from under someone else. You just get it, basically. Yeah. So they might still be able to get the name, but I mean, this company just...
Yeah, the game was supposed to release soon, but now it's not going to release until November.
They say soon. It's supposed to be March or something like that. But like no one's ever seen it running at all or in any length of time. The only thing they ever show is like we watched the video before the stream of like their like it was a studio tour, I guess, to show you how great it is to work there.
Yeah.
And by work, I mean volunteer there.
Yeah. It's a weird thing. They call it volunteering. Yeah. So everyone's a volunteer. Even the paid workers are volunteers. I don't understand how that works because that's not how it works. I mean, it's a company from Singapore, so maybe the translation isn't the best. I don't know.
Well, as if watching that video, you didn't think this was just some cult bullshit that they whipped up to make it look like it's a good place to work. I mean, like, did you see the clip when they're all laughing together at dinner? Like, as if that wasn't planned.
Yeah, that was just thrown in.
Yeah.
Looked pretty fake.
So, where was I going here? I don't remember what my point was here.
Cult.
Yeah, just like, no one's seen the game running. The most they've ever seen is like basically what the footage we saw in this cult video that they did of like showing you making a character and walking up to a house and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So some people are like saying like the game doesn't even exist. It's not even real or whatever. It's just a whole shit show. I remember when I saw the first, they did a like quick 30-second video on YouTube months or maybe a year ago saying like, oh, we have a culture of volunteer and everyone's a volunteer and if you want to work for us, it's like volunteering, and you volunteer your passion and time and everything like that. And it's just like, wow, is anyone getting paid for this here? Like, why the fuck would you go work on this game that you're not going to get paid for? I don't know. Maybe there's some big promises.
Have passion.
Yeah, fuck that shit, man.
You have ambition.
If you're getting suckered into that, like, and you're not just straight out of high school, like, take a look in the mirror, man. If you're not getting paid for your time, just fucking hit the bricks.
Maybe this is their passion project.
No.
They just, they got their regular 9 to 5, and then they come home and they just program all night. I love making assets.
Yeah, I guess so. I never thought of it that way. That's like those dipshits that got fired from Twitter, and then Elon begged them to come back and fix the website he fucked up, and then they fired him again. Like, imagine going back to Twitter. Or imagine, like, working at those stupid fucking hours they got over at Tesla, where it's like, you just work until you die, basically. That's just tired. That's just the culture over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the game's gone from Steam. Will it ever come back? Who knows? It could have been interesting.
I looked a lot. I looked through their website, dug through the press kit and all that kind of stuff. And they don't really they show gameplay in some of the videos of the press kit, but
doesn't show anything.
Doesn't look like anything. I mean, it looks like a generic zombie post-apocalyptic survival.
Yeah, and how did it get to be the #1 most wishlist game on Steam?
I don't think it was.
It was.
Was it?
Yes.
Is there physical proof of that?
Not anymore, because it's deleted from Steam, but
are there screenshots that aren't doctored?
It was in the article I read from like Eurogamer or whatever. They said it was the most whitelisted game on Steam.
Why?
Or wishlisted. Well, that's the thing. Was it just like a bunch of Steam bots?
Could be.
Did they hack Mikey T's account and add it to their
They might have. I should check my wish list right now.
Who
see
knows?
If it's on there. Or was on there.
Yeah.
I mean, it should still show. Because there are games that are not on Steam that I had to remove from my wish list because you couldn't buy them anymore.
Well, but this game has been removed from Steam.
I know they were removed from Steam as well.
But no, you can still download the game if you own it on Steam. They're just not for sale anymore.
It never came out, I don't think. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's a little different. This is like deleted from the whole thing. Yeah, I have games on my wish list that never came out. Like for 5 years I had Dwarf Fortress on my wish list. It finally came out, but
not after removing it first, right?
No, it stayed there.
There you go.
It was always there.
Yet you haven't bought it yet.
No.
Yeah.
You're
just waiting for the kindly viewers, listener to ship it your way.
No.
As a gift.
No.
To my friend KurbStomped.
I'm not waiting for that. It's just like, when am I going to play it if I get it?
Exactly.
But I mean, if someone bought it for me, I'd have to play it immediately.
Yeah,
so,
you would have. You'd be obligated to play it at least one session on stream.
So I wouldn't turn it away anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very fucking weird company. I would never work for them. Just the whole video made it just even more so like, wow, this company is like really fucked up.
Yeah.
So don't work for Fantastic.
Don't work for Fantastic. Here's someone else you shouldn't work for. Stolen League of Legends source code being ransomed, and Riot Games won't pay.
So are we talking about Riot Games?
We're talking about Riot Games.
Why wouldn't you work for Riot Games?
Because they're the same as Blizzard, just awful, aren't they?
No, I don't think so.
Well,
a little bit, but
didn't we talk about that like last year about their whole?
They're no Blizzard.
No, they're not Blizzard.
Blizzard
but there was the thing about sexual harassment and everyone being on strike.
Yeah, that's every gaming company,
I suppose. But anyway, the hackers went in, stole code for League of Legends, Teamfight Tactics, and the early version of their anti-cheat. Riot's like, nah, we're not paying. They want 10 million. And then they said the hackers will remove the code from their servers and provide insight on how the breach occurred. There was a 12-hour deadline.
10 million, eh? That's it?
And the hack would be made public. If
they never pay these ransoms. So,
sometimes they do.
It's been a long time.
Sometimes they do.
It's been a long time.
And the ones that do pay, we don't hear about.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, they stole the code and they're worried that the cheats might be made. Because they have the anti-cheat source code.
Couldn't you sell the League of Legends source code to some company in Japan for more than or China for more than $10 million?
That's probably what they'll do.
Jeez Louise. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could make your own League of Legends now.
You could. You got the source code. But yeah,
Crazy.
they're kind of worried about people being able to, because they have it. They don't need to backwards engineer to make hacks. They have the code. They can just make the hacks based on that. And
that would suck balls.
Yeah, the team is pretty unconcerned about that. They're like, we'll catch them.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course, that's what they say, but they're shitting their fucking pants right now. They are shitting their pants about this because they have to now ramp up probably their security team for working on defeating hacks and shit like that.
Probably. I don't know how... You don't hear about hacking in League of Legends that much.
Fucking why would you? Boring ass game.
Yeah, and what would you do?
I don't know.
Like
just
fog
crit
of
every
war
time.
gone?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm sure they could make it so it sends different information back to the server. Like, oh yeah, I crit that on every attack there. Is there crits in that game?
Yeah. Oh, there was. I don't know if there still is. Yeah, maybe removing fog of war for everyone.
Yeah, you can move speed hack something.
Oh,
walk through the wall.
hacks.
No clipping mode.
No clips. No clips.
You can
speed
capture
hacks.
a point from any point on the map instead of standing where you need to. I don't know how the game works. Fuck if I know. I don't know how that game works.
Yeah, super creeps, maybe.
Absolutely.
Huh.
Super dumper.
Just super creeps the entire time. Creeps
Absolutely.
are invincible.
Infinite XP. Best in slot item. Are any of these possible?
Yeah, I would imagine so, but I don't even
But
know.
I mean, is that a thing in the game? That's what I mean.
No.
Oh, damn it. That sucks. Yeah. It'd be interesting to know how they got in. Social engineering, probably.
Yeah, who knows? Probably.
It seems to be the way they usually get in.
That's how I got hacked.
You weren't socially engineered. Well, I guess you were a little bit.
A guy came up
But
to me. He
usually
was very
social
social.
engineering is when they'll go in and they'll be like, hello, I'm Mikey T. I forgot my password. Oh, what's your birthday? Ooh, I think it's March 33rd. Ooh, so close. Oh, sorry. Yes, March 23rd. Oh, yes. Okay, that's correct. And then what's your phone number? Ooh, I have a new number, but I think it starts with 250. And that's how they do it.
Oh, there you go.
I don't have any socials, so I don't get socially engineered.
No
social interactions.
No social interactions.
Nope.
Yep.
Hermit style.
That's the way to do it.
Yep, absolutely.
In a way not to do things.
Uh-huh.
Rick and Morty co-creator Justin Roiland faces felony domestic violence charges.
Oh, he's already been charged.
Yes, this was
old.
like in 2020, I think, wasn't it?
But it just came out now somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just like someone finally was like, hey, look at that. That's that guy from that show or what. But yeah, 2 years ago, he was charged with beating his wife.
Yeah.
Domestic assault or violence or something like that.
Yeah.
And then everyone was, he's got to go. So he's gone from everywhere.
There you go.
So,
I mean, maybe that joke just flew right over my head and I didn't get it. Was that supposed to be funny?
which
His domestic violence.
I don't think
It's supposed
so.
to be a super funny show, right? It's supposed to be smart and dumb people
Well, I don't
get
think
it.
there's any domestic violence on the show.
No, but
He just likes that
maybe
in the
he thinks
world.
that this is a joke and people just don't get it.
Oh, maybe.
Because the show's
I don't
too
think
smart, so
I
he's
don't
too
think
smart?
So.
Don't domestically violence. Don't beat your significant other. Don't do it.
Exactly.
This is a warning.
Are you
for
going to beat
everyone
him?
out there? I will get you.
So Adult Swim immediately was like, yeah, he's gone. We got rid of him. He's not allowed here anymore. He's off the show. We're going to continue without him. And it's just like, wow, they didn't even like wait a day or like a week to be like, well, will it blow over or,
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, it's not good. Domestic violence is bad, obviously. I shouldn't have to say that. But like, there must have been something about at work as well where they were like, yeah, finally, we can get rid of him. Because usually they'll be like at least a little bit of time where they'll be like, yeah, we're going to conduct an investigation or whatever. They're just like, no, he's gone.
Just get rid of him.
So there might have been something else, historic problems at work with something where they finally were like, yeah, we can get rid of him.
Yeah, potentially.
He's also gone from Squamch Games, the ones that did High on Life.
Yeah.
apparently I've never really watched Rick and Morty, but he's the voice of them both, so they're going to have to get someone to do the voice for them in the show, I guess.
Is the show still airing?
Yeah.
New episodes?
It just was renewed for 2 more seasons. They're going to continue going, but he apparently hasn't like really written for the show since like the first season, so it's not like it was his
baby
humor or whatever anymore. Yeah. I mean, I don't know whatever exactly is going on with it. And like, I mean, I don't know the whole story about what happened. Maybe he didn't domestically violence. I don't know. Maybe there was just, I don't know. It could be anything, really. I'm not saying I don't believe it. I do believe it. But like, all we know is like what was a kind of he said, she said situation.
Yeah.
Unless the cops witnessed him beating his wife or something like that. But also, there's different levels of it as well. They all fall under the same name, but
yeah,
could have been just holding her down or something like that. Again, it sounds like I'm being like, it's not that big of a deal. It is a big deal.
It's a huge deal, and you're not trying to support the man in any way.
No, I've never watched Rick and Morty, and I haven't played High on Life, and I don't care either way, really. But there's generally 2 sides to a story.
Yeah, for sure.
But whatever. I'm not like saying he should get his job back or anything like that, because I don't know the story, but no one will ever know the real story.
No, definitely not.
That's the one thing is like all this stuff is like, you'll never know what actually happened. So everyone spins their story their own way. Do you think there's ever been like the world's most honest person?
Probably.
I don't think so.
They're dead now.
No, I don't think there's ever been anyone that something happened to where they told the full story honestly. There's always embellishment or changing the narrative so it makes you look better, or you look or the other person look worse.
Yeah.
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 Anyways.
Democrats.
I've heard of them.
They're coming for your Xbox. They're going to take them away.
No.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to want a game at like 2 a.m. and they're going to be like, no, you don't get the game. Your Xbox is ours.
We don't have Democrats here, so it's okay.
No, yeah, we don't. So yeah, the Republicans are really mad that the woke brigade is coming to take your Xbox. There's been some changes to how the Xbox works. It's not a change that you can keep because you can toggle it on and off, but it's so for stupid. Saving energy during peak hours in the day. So you can make sure your Xbox updates at like 2 a.m. instead of at like 3 p.m.
This is, oh my God, this is the stupidest fucking story of the millennium, I think. So it's a environmental thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, we've just changed it. So rather than exactly what you said, rather than doing high energy usage times, we'll do it when it's less energy usage. It's better for the environment.
Yeah.
And certain right-wing pundits are spinning this as like the left coming for your guns, basically.
Yeah.
Because the last one was they're complaining about they're going to take away your gas stoves. That was the last thing they were talking about. And like, oh, you can't take my gas stove from me. The whole thing was like they wanted to have legislation that when you put in a gas stove, it has to have proper ventilation. So that somehow came into the thing where they're going to take your gas stove away from you. It's like, that's not what it, it's just so ridiculous. So this is like spun off of that, like, oh, the woke left, and their environmental policies are coming to take your Xbox away from you. And it's like, oh my God, this is so stupid. But the stupidest thing about it is that it works.
Yeah.
People see it and they believe it. And it's just like, oh my God, why are we living in this era? How did this happen? I don't know.
Me neither. People just take a story, they read the first 3 lines.
It's not even that.
And spin it whatever
It's not even that. It's not that. It's like Ted Cruz was tweeting about it. First of all, I apologize for Ted Cruz. It's our fault. He was Canadian. He abandoned his citizenship to become like the shittiest American of all time. But like he tweeted about it, and then people there's no critical thinking. They don't teach critical thinking at school.
No.
So no one ever
Not
thinks
America.
to be like, not even here, really. Like, I mean, I remember learning about critical thinking and talking about it in like 10th grade English or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just because the teacher was talking about critical thinking. I don't think it was part of the like agenda or whatever at school. So people don't learn anything about critical thinking. And that's a key, like you should be taught about critical thinking.
Yes.
I wish, man. Like, forget everything else. Fucking teach you about Pythagorean theorem. Fuck that shit. Tell me about critical thinking and teach them about how to do taxes and what a bank account is and how interest rates work and like how to read a bus schedule. Like all this stuff.
School is there to help you with the rest of your life.
No, it's not.
It's supposed to be, but
It should
they don't
be,
teach
but it's
you
not.
the basic stuff. They don't
It's
teach
like-
you the basics.
Like, okay, we learned about the Magna Carta. I've never used that in my day-to-day life, ever. Ever. But I learned all about the Magna Carta, and it's like, okay, history's important. Yeah, but like, anyways.
There's no life skills being taught unless you're taking home ec.
And even, here's we're going to learn how to bake a pie. Like, no, teach me how to like fucking, I don't know, make a salad. Like, I don't need how to make a pie. Even then, sex ed class taught you nothing. Like, it's like, here, use a condom. You can get a disease.
Yeah.
The end. Nothing else. Did you learn about, body autonomy or like,
Yep.
I don't remember learning any of that shit
Yeah.
in sex ed class. No, I don't remember that. What the difference between yes and no means. I don't remember learning any of that shit.
I'm not entirely sure we did.
No.
It was just autonomy, how babies are made, where they come from. There's no Stark. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. The penis goes in the vagina. When a mommy and daddy are feeling very loving to each other. Anyways. What are we talking about? Yeah. So because there's no critical thinking, people read this. They don't investigate it at all after that.
Yeah.
Like, how many times have you read something and be like, I'm going to do my own little look into this and see what's going on. And then be like, oh, okay. Like, it's kind of correct, but also not correct at all at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's just the nature of, I blame Twitter.
Probably.
It's Twitter, basically.
Yeah. You can't do a deep dive on Twitter.
Basically, if you look at Facebook and Twitter, anything like terrible that's happened since they came out is directly because of Twitter. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like, would there be President Trump without Twitter?
Nope.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
Would there be Elon Musk without Twitter?
Probably.
Yeah, but we would have never heard of him.
Yeah, we would.
No, how?
Tesla.
No,
PayPal.
What? We would know, like, oh, the CEO of Tesla? Who's the CEO of Nabisco?
I don't know.
Exactly. You would have no idea because he's not on Twitter.
No, but Nabisco also hasn't revolutionized the electric car industry.
Okay, well, like, who's the CEO of GM or Toyota or any of these companies?
Well, we would have known back in the 20s when they were first started.
Okay. But, like, the only reason we know... Again, Elon Musk didn't start Tesla. He bought Tesla. So
Tesla.
even him, he didn't read whatever he said about electric cars. It wasn't him. It was some other guy. I fucking hate Elon Musk, man. He's such a turd. But yeah, it's just no critical thinking. The Xbox, don't worry. Your Xbox is bad for the environment. It's staying bad for the environment. Yeah. Don't worry about it. It'll be okay.
You can toggle it on and off.
Yeah, but even still, like, think of like how much energy and shit goes into making that fucking plastic piece of shit box you got.
Yep.
Shipping it over from China on a cargo ship. How much engineering time went into it. How much power it uses. How much pollution is made to make the discs, to run the server. Don't worry, you're wrecking the environment.
Doesn't matter what you do. You're wrecking the environment.
It's fine. Good
Speaking of Microsoft wrecking things, Microsoft lays off all its VR, mixed reality, and HoloLens employees.
Yes. So is this what Microsoft sees the state of VR and shit like that? Or is this because Microsoft was trying to sell like HoloLens and shit like that as a military application and the order didn't come through?
I am not entirely sure.
That's the rumor is that HoloLens was really being pumped towards like defense
Military,
contractors and military stuff like that. And they couldn't get it working. So the orders never came through. So they were like, all right, we're out of here. I also think it is the condemnation of VR. Like, what beyond... I know, like, Metaverse, they really were like, oh, you're going to be at your desk in Metaverse doing your work. And it's like, does anyone want that besides Mark Zuckerberg? Like, I don't know anyone clamoring to be in a VR helmet at work.
No, me neither.
So... Microsoft does make some bad calls sometimes with their stuff. So maybe this is a bad call, shit canning everybody. But you know what? They have a lot of analytics and stuff telling them what is going on, and it's not adding up for them too. Yeah. So otherwise they would have just shit canned, 2/3, 3/4, half, not all. So, or maybe they're just seeding that market. Maybe they're just like, yeah, we'll leave that to Facebook with Oculus and whatever.
Yeah. And
we'll build the operating system that Metaverse runs on.
Could be.
Yeah.
But they are laying off about 10,000 employees in the near future.
They did that already.
Have they?
Yeah, I think this article is from last week here. So,
18th of January, they were saying they were talking about it.
Yeah. So I think they did that last week where they laid a bunch of people off. But all those tech companies did fucking massive hirings during COVID.
Yeah, and now there's been massive layoffs everywhere.
And everywhere's laying off everybody like crazy, so no surprises there.
Yes.
HoloLens looked kind of cool. Did you ever see a HoloLens demo?
I had not seen a HoloLens demo.
The only one I saw was at E3, maybe 3-4 years ago. They did a Minecraft HoloLens demo where they didn't have like the actual, it was still like prototype. So they had this giant like HD camera with all these cables and shit coming out of it that was going to like the monitor, and it was showing how they could, it was a VR HoloLens combo demo they did where they had them in VR and they're running around Minecraft, and they had the mixed reality projection of the Minecraft chunk they were in that you could see. And then the guy with the camera, he could like put the camera through the VR projection, the mixed reality projection, and like go through the blocks into the Minecraft. It was very cool, but I was just like, what purpose does this serve? So I think the idea with the HoloLens was you could use it like if you're working on a plane, you could put on the goggles and have like a giant representation of a plane and be like, okay, where's that cable I need? And like stick your head in and look around and everything like that. And then you would be able to like transfer that knowledge to the real plane or whatever.
Yeah.
So it looked cool, but I was just like, how would you ever want to do that in a game? I don't understand. So
yeah, a lot of that mixed reality stuff, I think that's purely just for work, for working and on stuff.
Unless you're playing, damn it, I can't think of what that game is called from the PlayStation. The PS3 card game.
PS3 card
with
game.
the camera.
Oh yeah, I Have Judgment.
I Have Judgment. Yeah.
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 Sucks for them, but
it definitely does.
I mean, they got Microsoft on their resume. They'll get a job.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's on your resume is pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Next up.
Yes.
Wizards of the Coast. We talked about the D&D licensing changes that they wanted to bring in with their their gaming stuff, and they've completely retreated from the license change.
Yeah, it was pretty stupid what they were doing. Like, they're working on 6th edition. They want to sell more books and all that shit. So they wanted to get rid of the old open gaming license from like 3.0 days and have a new one where they take like money and blah, blah, blah from everyone. And everyone was rioting in the streets about it. It's so fucked up. Like, I know why they want to do it. They want the money, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
But like, sure, 6th edition, make a new open gaming license. Do whatever the fuck you want with. No one's making anything for 6th edition.
Yeah.
Don't retroactively fuck everyone over.
Yeah. So
basically everyone, and this is the same thing that happened when 4th edition was coming out, where everyone was like, no, fuck you. Like, they had their 4th edition open gaming license. Everyone hated it. I don't think many people made a lot of stuff for 4th edition because the open gaming license sucks so bad. And then 5th edition came out and they went back on it, and then they're trying it again. It's just the same cycle every time. This really fucked them in the long run, because now I think everybody's going to be, they're moving away from D&D.
Yeah.
Like Paizo, I don't know how to pronounce them. They could do Pathfinder. They announced they're going to do their own open gaming license called Orc. And like thousands of these companies that do D&D books are like, yeah, we signed on. We're going to do it for them too. And like their sales skyrocketed. Like they said they sold out of their Pathfinder recent printing. That was supposed to last them 8 months. It lasted like 2 months because they sold out. So they have to go back to press again. And it's just like D&D or Wizards of the Coast really fucked up doing this one here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So they totally backtracked and were like, no, it's cool, everybody. You can still do it. Don't run away, but it might be too late. Back. I get that D&D is like the number one name in RPGing, but like there's nothing there that you can't get anywhere else.
That's true.
Like orcs and dwarves and shit. You can get that anywhere.
Can't copyright orcs and dwarves.
You can copyright a hobbit though, but you can call him a halfling and it's okay.
Yeah. Is halfling D&D though?
I think that's the name they took to get around the Hobbit. I think, but I might be wrong. Yeah, it was always weird that it's always like, oh, we have to play D&D. It's like, I don't know, man. Do I have to blow my nose with a Kleenex? Like,
I can blow my nose with a tissue paper of whatever I please.
Yeah, so
including my sleeve.
Yeah. That's in like dire emergencies right there.
Yeah.
Especially a t-shirt. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this and where it goes from now on. I was not really called out on YouTube, but we had a YouTube comment on the last time we talked about D&D where someone said like KurbStomped is so wrong about this. There's no half dragons in D&D. They're dragonborn that have dragon-like traits. And it's like, okay, yes, I know I fucked up. And I said that. I don't know that much about 5th edition. But my complaint wasn't that it was a half dragon. It was like, that's not fantasy to me as something for D&D. It's too much. All the sexual shit. Well, no, it's not. Did I say sexual shit? That's not what I meant.
I mean, it is sexual shit.
But it's like,
to breed with a dragon.
I'm used to Lord of the Rings, fantasy, dwarf, halfling, human, elf, half elf. Even 3rd edition when it came out and they're like, you can be a half orc. I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't think so. So it's just too modern for my sensibilities, I guess.
Yeah, so. I'm just used to Coalition Soldier, Glitter Boy, Juicer.
Oh, we got a Riffs boy here. Okay, well, if you want to talk about overpowered, then we'll talk about Riffs for sure. I'm a Vagabond. I'm a Glitter Boy. Oh, fuck.
I do 3d6 times 10 mega damage with my shot. Exactly. I do 1d6 SDC.
Exactly.
Great!
Exactly.
Here's something else that's great.
Uh-huh.
It's not really.
Okay.
Blizzard manager departs in protest of employee ranking system.
Yeah, imagine going to work and getting your ranking on a bell curve.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Right? It's like, hey, can you please rank all of your employees for me? And, your S tier employees and your F tier employees. I just need them all on a chart, please.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I don't have enough B rankings to give out. Sorry, this guy's got to be a C. It's like, what the fuck? That's so fucked up. I do hear that all the time, though. Or hear like on Reddit, and you'll hear people talking about their, they'll be doing rankings for work as a manager, and they'll hand in their thing to the supervisor, and be like, no, he can't get a 5. It's like, well, why not? It's like, well, he can't have a perfect score. It's impossible to have a perfect score. Something has to be wrong. It's like, no, everything was perfect. No, you can't have a 5. The best you can ever get is 4. It's like, what's the fucking even point in doing a ranking if you can't get? Can you get a 1? Like, could you get the worst score? No, there's no way you can be the worst.
If there's
can't be a 1.
If there's no way you can be the best, then there's no way you can be the worst.
You can't get a 1, then the minimum is 2 to 4. Yeah. Like you can't get anything in between. So, anyways, they had a ranking on there that there had to be on the bell curve, basically.
Yeah.
Where you have very few top people and very few bottom people, and everyone was in the middle, right? But when he went to do it, or she, I don't even know, it was like, nope. There's not enough space left. Someone's got to be dropped down a rank. It's just like, wow. So,
I thought it was everyone, when they asked them to do it, they were just like, S tier, everyone.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
I think that's what it was. And they were like, you can't do that. And then he's like, yeah, I'm out of here then.
Okay, well, that's a little different then. If it's that way, then you're just an idiot. But if it's like, what? Anyways, if it's a matter of, that's part of your job as like a supervisor.
Yeah.
Is to, you want to have the best doing their job. But if you just say like everyone's an S, like, come on, seriously? I thought it was more like, well, they probably did have to grade it on a bell curve, but he just didn't want to do it at all.
Yeah.
That's like participation. You just get your ribbon.
Yeah.
GG, good for you. You did a good job. Everyone does a good job. I don't know, man. I don't like that.
No, me neither.
I'd prefer it like to be told like, this is what you can improve and this is where you excel and whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess every company's culture is different, but it's very weird anyways. But you also don't want to be cruel.
No, you don't want to be cruel, but you need to know where to put your people in order to make them work effectively. And if you needing to grade them so that where they need to go to be the most effective at their job, then that's got to happen. At
my work, they would, we haven't done them in forever, but they would do like evaluations once a year. And I remember my boss, the owner, would be like, oh, there was this thing that you did. You shouldn't do that. And I'd be like, what? I didn't do that. And they'd be like, oh yeah, you did this or whatever. And I'd be like, well, when? And be like, oh, well, sometime this happened. I'd be like, well, why didn't you say anything then? Because I don't remember this. Telling me this now doesn't do anything for me. Like, I need to know like that immediately when it happens, you know? Like waiting a year later and being like, this vague date in the past, this happened. It's like, well, what the fuck? I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be like, what are you talking about? I don't remember doing that at all.
Anyways.
It's like, oh yeah, we should have disciplined you for that, but we didn't.
Well, not even disciplined. It'd just be like, oh, you did this wrong. It's like, I don't remember doing that wrong. It's like, well, you did. Well, when? Like, what specifically? Oh, well, back sometime in the distant past. And it's like, well, why didn't you tell me I fucked it up right then? Like,
I think you're making this up.
I mean, I'm sure he remembered it as that it did happen, but the specifics were gone. But it's like, why didn't you tell me right then?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, if you are just like everyone's an S, you deserve to be fired.
He didn't get fired. He just left.
Yeah, well, I think if he's leaving over that, there's some other story here we're not hearing because no one quits over that.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. You're going to have to do it. Oh, I resign. What? Okay. See you later then, buddy. So ridiculous.
Yeah. I can't actually read the article because it's not this article anyway.
Why not?
Because you need to be
it's a Bloomberg.
It's a Bloomberg.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
There's another one that I couldn't find that I read where that's what he was talking about.
Okay.
So.
Well, that sounds like there's something else going on there.
Yeah.
Like he was looking for an excuse to get out of there. Or she, I don't know. That's ridiculous. Just wanted a vacation.
It could be.
Whatever.
Oh, yes. All right, guys. That's going to bring us to the end of this episode 114 of the StreamVoid podcast. If you liked what you heard here, and I know you did, please leave us a comment. Rate us and share us with a friend, because that's the best way for this podcast to get out there into your other people's ear holes, and that's where we want them. I mean, sometimes it goes to their eyeballs, but that's if you're watching it live or on the cut-up version on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah. And yes, don't forget patreon.com/StreamVoidPod. Get in there, support the stream, and watch all of our bonus content.
Or listen to it. I think you can only listen to it.
No, you can watch it as well.
Oh, wow.
All the Patreon bonus videos that we got.
Oh, those ones. Yes. I thought you were talking about me eating before every podcast.
Oh, no, you can only listen to that.
Oh, perfect. ASMR.
Yeah. All right, we will see you guys again in 1 week's time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.